What's up, everybody? Hope everyone's having a good Monday. Hope everyone's having an angsty Monday. And if you're not already, you will be soon. So don't worry. Don't you worry about nothing. Give it a minute or two and we'll crack into this thing. Crack into the walnut of this week. Today is the first day in the past week or so that I will be able to sleep in my bedroom because it's not so fucking hard. Anywho, comments about the weather aside, we'd probably crack into this. Crack into these nuts, as the kids say. Please excuse any stuttery internet. I don't know what's happening, man. Sometimes life finds a way, though. That's all we can say for sure. Anywho, welcome everybody. Welcome to episode 7 of Peaked in High School. That's 14 weeks of peaks. I don't know. That's probably important to somebody. This is a show, if you're not familiar, from Bucketlist Entertainment, where we look at albums you used to like, typically those that came out in the early to mid-2000s in the MySpace era. This week, as chosen by all of you, we will be listening to 3 Days Grace's self-titled 2003 album. If you haven't heard 3 Days Grace before, you've probably been spared from Canadian rock radio for the past 18 years, to which I say congrats. That's kind of a weird accomplishment. The band formed in 97 and has kind of that post-grunge, alt-metal, a little new metal sound that's since devolved into pretty straight butt rock. A handful of singles from this album were in incredibly regular rotation on Much Aloud, and even making it onto Big Shiny Tunes 8, which I have somewhere in my box of CDs beside me, but I didn't dig it out. I can't really say I followed much of this band after this first album, save for in 2009, when a now ex-girlfriend dragged me to go see them. And it was... maybe that's why I didn't like this album. Spoilers, I don't like it. Anyways, without too much further dawdling, at least, I think we'll just cruise into this thing. So, this album starts out on a fairly nu metal note, which is kind of surprising looking back, because I never typically associated them with that. But here we are anyways. Burn has you know, the dissonant guitars and the vaguely angsty lyrics that would have been right at home on a WrestleMania soundtrack. I'm certain I've heard this opening track before, but I couldn't, even just listening to it this past week, I couldn't tell you a single lyric from it anymore. It's just very, very forgettable. But something more memorable. I could be mean. Your boys. I could be angry. I could be just like you. Fucking just like you, baby. If you know, you know, dog. This song is pretty much the band at peak angst. It's incredibly short lyric-wise, which again I didn't realize until re-listening with the more purposeful ear. But there's a dozen lines in this song, and a basic riff that's multi-track to all shit. But it's fucking perfect, and it's the perfect song to scream at your stepdad about. And it's as perfect today as it was then. So good for them. They had to. Another banger. This was kind of in the more post-grungy side of things. It has that off-key acoustic intro that I've heard approximately 10,000 times at any Long and McQuaid at any given moment. The fucking "Love You" is just trying so hard to be abrasive, and I fucking love every second of it. It worked at the time, and somehow it still works now. It really shouldn't, but it does. Fucking good for them, man. So we got one more high note to get through before things get a little low. I'll be coming home just to be alone. Now we're on to what was the final single from this album, and the last point of familiarity for me and probably for a lot of you. Home is another kind of nondescript, you're not my real dad core kind of song. It wasn't beaten to death on the radio, so that has some pluses because it is exciting to hear again. Yeah, it's a decent re-listen. It's no more interesting than what they've done elsewhere on this album, but it is at least different enough, or maybe I just hadn't heard it enough times to be bored of it by now. Now is where we start to get shitty. Just fair warning. Scared is about as new metal as it gets on this album, at least. We got whisper singing, we got big guitars, we've got an attempt at a soaring chorus that just doesn't work. I don't know. It's a weird point in the album because it's the start of me hardly remembering a single song anymore. And yeah, on that note, buckle in because I'm going to breeze through some of these because you don't know them and I don't know them and nobody fucking cares. So, Now or Never is kind of an attempt at another like angsty ballad, something you've heard with like Seether and Amy Lee, whatever that song was. But it just misses the mark big time. This is the only album they did with just one guitarist. And Now or Never is one of those songs where it's like, man, it really would have been nice to have some input from somebody else. Moving past that, Broken, that's the name of the song. Moving past that, we got Born This Way, which I thought I remembered, but I think the reason I thought that is because the chorus sounds like Them Bones by Alice in Chains. So I don't know at this point. I mean, Drown is a song too. Drown comes right after this, but who fucking cares? Moving past that, we got Wake Up. It tries to do the I Hate Everything About You thing, where it's kind of wobbly, clean guitar, throughout the verse and another big sounding chorus. It's only 3.5 minutes, but it felt like a fucking eternity. It somehow managed to drag on. Sorry, dude. Like, Wake Up was clearly trying to be a new single, but it just wasn't in the cards, my guy. Let's fucking wrap this thing up. I am sick of this fucking album. Lumping these last two together because Take Me Under, I have nothing to say about other than that it was a very long 4 minutes, and that Overrated is basically the anthem for this whole fucking band. Because save for those first 4 songs, don't bother. It's not worth your time. It's just a bummer, my man. But on that note, we're through the album. I wish I had something encouraging to say, but I really don't. I'd say maybe listen to those again, those 3. I wouldn't trust me when I say there are no deep cuts to be looking for. So don't. There's nothing hiding in there beyond those singles. We're going to start wrapping this up. So if you have any questions, any suggestions for future episodes, any comments, get them in now. Otherwise, some better albums came out in 2003, if you can imagine. Let's see, we got Sixth. The Trees Are Dead and Dried Out. The Yeah Yeah Yeahs, Fever to Tell. Ion Dissonance's Breathing is Irrelevant, amongst many, many, many other great albums. I'm sure we'll revisit 2003, so I'm sure some more will come up later. As far as some stuff that's a little more recent, Hiatus Coyote put out a new album called Mood Valiant. Drug Church put out an EP called Tawny. And I've been re-listening to the Fearless Flyers' 2020 album Tailwinds, so you can give all those a listen. A quick reminder that Liz has been keeping up with the Bucketlist Spotify playlist, so make sure you check that out. You can hear some new tunes. You can keep up with Bucketlist Entertainment on our Facebook page, Bucketlist TV on YouTube, at Bucketlist Entertainment on Instagram. A reminder, we decide on these albums through a vote on our Facebook and Instagram pages. So keep an eye out 1 week from tonight, where we will be putting our next album up for vote. Q&As are on a bit of a break while Liz gets settled in a new place, but check out last week's episode her and Jason did with The Damn Truth. Rehydrate myself. If you like, you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at JustinDoesWords. With that, yeah, don't listen to 3 Days Grace. Listen to 3 songs. The 3 Saving Grace songs. I'm sure there's a joke there. Anyways. Other than that, thank you all for tuning in. Stay safe, stay happy, stay healthy, etc., so on, so forth. Thank you to Jason and Liz on the 1s and 2s. We will see you in 2 weeks. That is July 19th. Holy shit, I lost a month. July 19th, next episode. See you then.